Hi Leo, how's everybody doing? Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It looks like to me that you are working out how to say something. This could be like an important conversation. This can be like something you want to discuss with somebody. It seems like the catalyst for this is about asking yourself what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for. There's a matter of like thinking about questioning, like happiness and fulfillment, things like that. I was seeing this in the pre-shuffle too. The Two of Pentacles. This is like going back and forth, trying to figure something out. It can be a sense of working on your prioritization as well. Thinking about things that bring you joy and happiness. This can also be trying to fit into your schedule, things that bring you a sense of joy, things that genuinely you feel good about, ways that you can articulate yourself, ways that you can express yourself artistically. I'm hearing creative freedom and also creative liberty. The Sun speaks about things that bring us joy and happiness. I'm seeing this be related to the 5th house. So it's like expressing creativity and feeling like you can shine as yourself and playing with your inner child, stuff like that. And there may be more of a focus on joy that you're creating within your life. Something is going to take some time, some sorting out. But I'm seeing that whatever it is that you're doing right now, it's important to the goals that you are working towards. It's integral to where it is that you're trying to go. So even though something may not be happening immediately, you are like going in the direction that you want to be going in right now. Even if you may not be seeing a lot of like progress, maybe not in a big way. You may be seeing little things, but maybe nothing like very, very big. I'm hearing to prove a point, to prove the point, proving the point. Because you are going through like a very intense like upheaval, change, transition right now, this is why it's taking so much time. It seems like something very big that's happening within your life. And I'm seeing it's all to like benefit you, for you to like feel more empowered, for you to feel more in touch with yourself. A change where like you're putting yourself first in a way where it's like becoming about you, and it's becoming about your story and about what you want. Even feeling like you are fulfilling something that feels right for you to step into or assume for yourself. Self-exploration, especially when it comes to, it's like if nobody could see you and like there was nobody to observe you and what it is that you were doing, it's about like what you would be doing then. Like what would you be doing for you if it were all for you and it had nothing to do with anybody else or anybody else's opinion? And that's what it looks like to me. It looks like what you're stepping into is like purely for you and what you want to be doing, and it's something that feels right for you. Whether this be like you changing the way that you're living your life, or you like going after a creative pursuit that you want to go after, or working on a project, or being like, you know what, I've been putting this off for so long, like I'm gonna write that book now. It's like whatever this is for you that you wanted to do, I'm seeing that like you're working towards going after this. And I'm also seeing like a lot of personal changes that are happening for you as well. I'm seeing a lot of marks of you making progress, a lot of like needing to be patient. This is going to take time, but it's leading to where you want it to go. So this feels like very much confirmation that you are going where you want to go. I'm looking at Scorpio and Aquarius popping out here. Maybe someone you're dealing with. It can be significant placements in your chart as well. Healing through change and transition. There's so much here about this like taking a while, taking some time. I'm hearing moon lilies, looking at the star card. The more there is a focus for you on your priorities with everything that you do. It's like being so conscientious of every choice that you're making and being like, what is my intention behind this? Like, how is this benefiting me? Is this working towards my goals? And like taking your time to go through that process. It's like, this is just a smaller piece of a much bigger plan and change that you're moving through. And it is all to... it's all moving you on track, and it feels like you're getting like more and more in touch with yourself, more and more with your path, in a way where you have this like confidence, understanding, knowledge that you are where you are meant to be, and also that the trajectory of where you're going is in alignment with like your highest good and what you're meant to be doing as well, your highest self. There's also a focus here on authenticity, of like shedding the skin as well. To have Scorpio and Aquarius and Saturn. Also about fulfillment too. So when it comes to you prioritizing, and I'm not seeing this just be like one big decision within your life. It's like a bunch of little choices that you're making every day is what I'm hearing. Asking yourself, when I check in with myself in my heart space, do I feel a sense of fulfillment here? Can I feel a sense of fulfillment here? Or do I not? And letting it be as simple as that. Because that's how we strive to live a more fulfilled life. When you're just asking yourself that simple question when it comes to these decisions that you're making. And it's like, if I'm making this choice and I don't feel fulfilled by it, then I'm planting seeds for like a lack of fulfillment, a lack of satisfaction. However, when I'm like prioritizing the things that bring me a sense of like peace and fulfillment, I'm seeing fulfillment be like the biggest point here, especially on the emotional front, feeling connected emotionally, all of that. So it's like when I plant those seeds, that's what is going to bloom in my garden. And it's about this whole process of like asking yourself when you're making these choices and making these choices. And it's like planting those seeds and then waiting for that to bloom and like seeing the result of that. But after taking time to do this isn't just something that's going to happen overnight. This is something that's going to be a process. But because of the way that you're doing it and not cutting corners and like really taking the time to look into this, it's something that like ultimately it will change your life, especially like looking back at it. These are going to be significant moments, even if while you are in this moment of the process, you may not be seeing a lot of results. It's something that's transitioning slowly, but don't lose faith because of that. Seems like this is also allowing you to heal as well. It's like moving away from things that feel like painful or hurtful, not in a way where you're bypassing. This feels more so like there may be some things that you've been doing or have done, or maybe like part of a behavior or a pattern that you participate in that doesn't feel healing, or that doesn't bring you a sense of peace, or just like focusing on like unpleasant things. And to have this come out upside down, this is like the swords falling out of the heart. It's like this sense of like clearing and healing, because rather than you sticking around doing things that do not leave you feeling at peace, or do not instill a feeling of, I'm hearing sanctity. It's like slowly allowing your heart chakra to like unravel and clear out. As I said before, I'm seeing this is going to take time, because this can be too, like, you may have built certain things within your life around like doing things for other people, and rather than it being like you check in with yourself first and be like, can I hold space for them, or can I do this for them? You may have like not been checking in with yourself and just been like doing things for other people, or like trying to please another person. Whatever it was that you were doing, there was this like maybe lack of checking in and doing something where you could have been like maybe not showing up for yourself, maybe in order to show up for other people, and then having this rebound effect of then feeling like maybe you're not being taken care of, whatever it is. There's so many different ways that this can play out. But yeah, the focus is coming back on to you, and you doing this for you, and where your heart and your soul calls you towards, and putting yourself first. Because unless you're doing the work for yourself, and unless you're taking care of yourself, you're not going to be any good for anyone else, because we have to do our work first and meet our needs first. Reminds me of the Ram Dass quote, the best thing I can do for you is to work on myself. I do get the notion that like what you were doing before may have been related to acts of service. Not just in career, even in personal life. And it seems like this is about getting back to you, and if that's something that you can hold space for. Like, what do you want when you're thinking about... Interesting. I'm seeing like this whole thing unfolding about like you connecting with yourself as if you're like meeting a new person and being like, hey, what do you like? Hey, what do you want? Like, what brings you a sense of joy? What brings you a sense of happiness? Like, what feels peaceful? And like really listening to this like part of yourself that is introducing itself to you. It's like it's been there all along, but it's kind of been in the shadows. It's like a friend that you haven't paid that much attention to maybe recently. Now I'm seeing the Ace of Swords, which is like truth, clarity, understanding. I'm hearing clear vision about what is changing, what's to change, where you're going. Learning more and more about your healing process. Learning more and more about what's been taking up space in the heart chakra. The thing is as well that like sometimes the notion of healing can be tricky as well, because it's like maybe there wasn't some like obvious thing that you think of that you're like, yeah, I still feel hurt by that, or whatever it is, but it can be something that's going on where it's like within our lives we're not like checking in with ourselves, or we're not being like, hey, what do I want, hey, what do I need? And those are still characteristics of the heart chakra not being completely cleared. And maybe this is also something that you're looking into, like, what does it mean? What does it look like when the heart chakra is cleared? What does it look like when it's blocked? Like, what does that mean I may like be thinking like or behaving like? What types of choices? Also, too, if you're sticking around in situations where there is like a lack of satisfaction, that's also something connected with a blocked heart chakra as well. Because it's like there's another reason why you would be staying in that situation, and that's something to look into further as well. Like if you know that like something isn't right for you, something isn't connected with you, and your heart doesn't feel connected to it, what are you doing there? Getting into like the deeper psychological space of why you're doing what you're doing, when you're doing it. Because there may be something deeper too that you're uncovering and understanding as well. And I'm seeing it's like the Ace of Swords is a sense of truth. The Page of Swords is like research and finding things out. And with Jupiter, it's like this expansion of the mind and concepts that we learn. And to have Saturn and Jupiter here, it's like these life lessons that we go through that are very like physical and 3D, that are very tangible, that we're experiencing. And then the ways that our minds expand because of these lessons that we're learning through like our healing and our transformations as well. And where we go next after that. So Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius, and I'm hearing Libra, I'm hearing Virgo, Scorpio. Some of these moments are not going to feel completely clear. It's kind of like you have to go into here in order to get out on the other side, but if you don't approach it at all, there's like a lack of you like showing up for what it is that you are feeling, like being present to your emotional experience. So it's like even though you know that you're kind of walking into like this chaotic mess in a way, of just, I'm hearing spirals of like emotions being all over the place, and you like kind of immersing yourself in that, even though it may not be like very clear cut and straightforward. I'm getting Virgo vibes again, even though it may not be like straight cut, clear cut and straightforward. There's this sense of like immersing yourself in this emotional experience to feel it and connect with it. And then you can organize it how you want. This is like also part of the transformation as well. It's like getting back in connection and in contact with something that may have, I'm hearing grown dusty. The only way out is through here. But it's all just part of it. And it's about like making the decision, like, do we open that door? Do we not open that door? You have the choice. It seems like there's also this notion too where it's like I can also just be like observing these things and not applying them to my life, or I can like actually use them and apply them, even if that means like going on this kind of like confusing or erratic trip right now to get to know myself better. This is also about thinking carefully about what you're doing, about what it is that you're creating, about what you find and what you do with it when it comes to the experience that you're having energetically, emotionally. It's like gaining knowledge, gaining power, gaining insight, gaining autonomy. It seems also like there may be this thing that's happening like on the emotional front, on the energetic front for you. And like it's like the door is glass, right? So you can see that it's just like all of this that's inside there. And the Seven of Cups is like options, and it can be confusion and disorganization and chaos. It's like this like very feminine aspect of like the emotional and energetic experience. And you have the choice of like whether or not you just want to like stay on the outside and be like looking into it, or you can fully immerse yourself in this thing. And I'm seeing like if you make the choice to really go in this direction, because this is where like the track is leading you, it's going to allow you to have like a new medium even to create within your life. And it seems like it's going to enable you as well to like even change the form of certain things that have been going on for you related to your emotional experience. And it's something that turns from chaos and confusion or unknown into something that becomes like stable and clear for you as well, because of making this choice and being disciplined with what it is that you are being granted access to and doing something with that. Recognizing your role as the creator, the narrator here. Looking at Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius, Scorpio. I'm hearing Libra again. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.